and a huge welcome. Today, I am so excited because I'm about to share with you my unconventional ways of identity activation, because I believe that you can activate a version of you and become a match for your manifestation in seconds. You don't need years of healing and coaching and spending so much time on these things. You can do that in seconds. And I'm going to share with you some really powerful unconventional methods. So I heavily use music to shift my identity. And the reason is because music brings you in a very creative and unleashed energy. And you can use that to really emotionalize different ideas, shift your energy, really start to feel into that and let your emotions go and let your energetics go. So there is a song that I used to really cultivate the identity of an entrepreneur. So an identity of somebody who is working for someone else is very different to somebody who is a business owner, who's an entrepreneur, and who is successful, right? So I worked in corporate for a while, but when I wanted to start my own business, what I realized was this: after trying 8 different strategies, that until you shift your identity, it's not going to work. And I used a really powerful song to activate my entrepreneur identity. That song is Let's Go Get Down to Business. Okay. So I would listen to that song. I would look at myself in the mirror and I would say, let's get down to business. Okay. And in that song, he says, I've been waiting for you for millions of nights or whatever like that. And I'm like, my version of me, the greatest version of me, my most successful version of me, saying, I've been waiting for you. When are you going to remember that you are the greatest entrepreneur? And I used to look at myself in my eyes, and in the energy of that song and in that flow, I would sometimes dance and I would just feel like I'm the most successful entrepreneur. And I did it for weeks, just few weeks, whenever I got time, not really. And like not really like regularly, but as often as I could do. And within 1 or 2 weeks, I saw my results shifting, money coming in, things working out. Whatever strategy I was doing, it worked because of this work. Okay. The other thing which I do for my money song, that I use very specific type of songs to imagine and really tap into the feeling that money is coming in my bank account, and I can feel it. I can feel it stacking up. I can feel the numbers going up. So there's a song by Drake called Massive. It has got a really nice tune, and it has nothing to do with money, by the way. But when I hear that tune, that beat, I always connect it to the feeling that money is stacking up. So if you connect the feeling to that song or to that beat a few times, you are going to build a neural pathway where every time you listen to that song, it will activate that feeling. I manifested this house, but with a song again. So there was a song, California by U2, and anytime I would listen to that song, I would start visualizing living in that house, cooking, spending time with my kids, inviting guests, having fun. And guess what? Very, very soon we manifested this house. There's another song called Too Much Money in My Bank Account by It's Welcome to Saint-Tropez. I use that song to really activate my abundant identity. There's another song that I use to manifest my dream car, the Mercedes that we have right now. And that song is Down. It is like really cool song. It's a very high vibe song. The whole thing that I'm really trying to tell you is that whatever song that really resonates with you, even if they have nothing to do with what you're visualizing, if you think of them and visualize that thing, and then you connect, like every time you play that song, you visualize that thing or you think about that thing. If you're driving, you don't need to close your eyes and visualize, because most of the time I do it when I'm driving. Then you will start to build a neural pathway where every time that song is played, you will have that vision. So what I do now, which is really, really powerful, is I have a playlist which is the preview of every aspect of my life that I'm manifesting now. The car, the business, the the milestones, the children, like how the children are growing up, and every single aspect of their life, the money in the bank account, the spirituality, the connection, everything. There is a song which represents everything, and I have decided what song is going to be. So the way I decided is, I like a song, I'm like, okay, I can connect to that really activates this feeling, and it's quite natural and intuitive. I'm like, oh yeah, it connects that feeling. So this is a really powerful way, because when I listen to my whole playlist, okay, it really helps me actually have a preview of all the aspects. Because when we are in our day-to-day life, it's very easy to think about our problems, or it's very easy to get so engrossed in the physical reality and think from that place. But when you have the tools which can actually keep you on that frequency longer, and you can sustain the feeling longer, it's really powerful. And I use a lot of those tools. So my whole playlist is a preview of that life that I'm attracting right now. And every single song is connecting. So even the milestones that I'm manifesting in my 2 businesses right now are connected to a song. And there is something insanely powerful that happened after this work, which I'm going to share with you. So I set myself a goal, which was, it should have taken at least 6 to 10 years for that goal to manifest. 6 to 10 years, okay? But what I did was, I said, what if I use a song and see it now? Like, who says it's going to happen in 6 to 10 years? Like, who? According to who? So I connected that song to that vision, which was, like, if you ask a sane person, logical, realistic person, which we are not, we don't belong there, it would have taken this long. But I connected that vision of doing a partnership with the industry leaders in our, in our business. So, like, the people who really need our work, but they're the industry leaders, like the best of the best companies in the world for our niche in the corporate. And within 3 weeks, we had partnership with the best company in the world with that song. So this is a freaking powerful way that I'm sharing with you. This is so powerful. This can collapse time like insane, right? So I just listened to the song and I was like, oh my God. Because now I do this quite often. Anytime I like a song, all of a sudden it connects it. My mind is like, you can connect it to that. I'm like, yes, let's go. So this is really, really powerful. Have your playlist. Now, what about those people? Again, if you are somebody who absolutely loves music, this will work. If you are somebody who is like, I love music, but there are more things I would like, this will work. So even if you love music, you can add that, because I still use all of these, but I'm going to share with you some of the other things. So I have this bottle, this water bottle. You see here. This is the water bottle that I take with me everywhere. And this is a sign of me, the queen, and my most abundant self. I get my nails done because that reminds me of my true, like, it activates that feeling of abundance. Even the kind of like dressing I do, I've manifested those clothes. And the reason, look, a lot of people say that, oh, you're being so shallow. Like, why are you talking about dress? Like, it's all about the within. But what I've realized is that it is shallow, and I'm not saying this is the only thing, but the way you dress, it gives a very powerful message to your subconscious. Okay, so automatically when we see somebody outside and they're dressed really, really well, okay, we assume they're successful, right? So this is something very subconscious. And when you dress really well, you start to assume about you. Your subconscious mind assumes that you are successful. So the way you dress, the way you show up, the way you carry yourself, the way you talk, even if you like somebody in the outside, where in your, in around you, and you love the way they talk, if you love the way they talk, it means that's a reflection of something that you have got. So you can look at them and you can start visualizing yourself talking like them, and you wouldn't talk anything like them. You wouldn't copy them at all, but you will activate your greatest self by using them as an activator. So anything that you like outside of you is a reflection of what's within you, because there is nothing outside of you which is not about you. Everything you're seeing is a lens from what's within. It's a projection of what's within you. And anything you don't like, it means you don't like about yourself. So everything is about going within. So when you see somebody talking a certain way, dressing a certain way, you like it, take them as a template, Activate that version within you. There are three steps that you can follow. First, you can decide who it is and what they're doing. Secondly, you can start visualizing yourself being or doing that way. And after a week of visualizing, you can start taking action. Right? So in my program Wealth Fountain, I really teach that in the greatest way with all the tools and writing your script and all of those things. But this is really powerful, that you start to activate that version of you. You start to become that version of you, because when you do that, you don't need to affirm it. You become it. It's like, I don't need to affirm I'm successful. Tell me why I'm not. Like, I am. Like, it's like, I'm a mother, I've got 4 kids. I don't need to affirm I'm a mother. I know I'm a mother, right? So when you do the identity level activation, you don't need to affirm or force yourself to feel the feeling or constantly do all of that. You just say, how on earth I'm not, right? That conviction results the universal forces to actually create your manifestation, bring your manifestation in the physical, which is already there. Okay, so using those kind of things. I also use like different kinds of glasses that reminds me of who I really am. Okay, there's this glass I wear another one. Like, I'm really intentional. And there is another thing which I very consciously do. I connect the things that I wear. So if you look at my nails, I've got a diamond T called Infinity that reminds me that I'm infinite. If you look at my keychain, I've got something, it says I'm immersed in gratitude, which reminds me of being grateful all the time. So I have got my perfumes, specific perfumes, which remind me of specific things in my life, right? Like the success, because there is a thing called smell memory. So you can smell a fragrance and you can connect it to a memory. If you wear a perfume like of your childhood or when a few years ago, like many years ago, it will take you back to that time. So I use my perfumes as an activator of the reality that I want. So all I'm doing using these things is I'm creating a future memory. So I'm using my higher faculty, which is one of them, memory. And instead of living in my past and thinking of the past things, because I don't want to create more of the past, although I'm very grateful for everything, I'm creating future memory and I'm living in that memory now, so that I'm a vibrational match. I vibrate on that frequency all day long because of these activators, and then I live there. Okay, so what we do is you build your reality, your physical reality in your everyday life in such a way that you build future memory connections, like neural connections, and then you start to live on that frequency naturally. Like I just live it naturally. I don't need to consciously try to think or sit to think. I just live it. That's who I am now. Okay, so when that things happen for me, it's so natural now that I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I know who I am. Like, you'll have to really try hard to convince me anything otherwise. Okay, so when you actually tap into your truth, and the fact this shifting happens so fast after you release, where I use my breakthrough method to actually release every part of you that's not a match, that's a lie that you have been told, and you have taken it and made it a part of your identity. When you do that, you realize that this is actually truth. You're not faking it. This is who you really are. That's why it takes seconds. That's why it's so fast, because when we land on truth, it's so powerful. It takes our breath away. So you don't need anything. It's truth, but we are just using activation for the truth. So this is my method where I use a lot of the things outside to activate that version. And I'm constantly finding, like the mug I drink my tea in is so precious. Sorry, I don't drink tea, but my coffee is so precious. The pens I use, they remind me. My notebooks, right? So it's not about trying to, like show off. It's about really telling yourself that I am an important person. I'm special. I'm worthy. From inside out. If you just do it outside, right, like just nice clothes, nice things, it's not going to work. It starts from within. So I get my clients to build the embodiment trackers, where we actually take everything and we start to embody that every day. Like, we are working on that, and it happens so fast when we use our imagination and start to embody those identities. But the key here is that when you go within and you say, where I was thinking I wasn't, right? And then you use the activators outside to land on your truth. It's so powerful. It's so powerful, because the truth is like, it's magnet. The truth lands. The truth always stays with you. Once you have this awareness, nobody can take it because it's your truth. You came back home. You found yourself. So these methods are really powerful, and you start using them to sustain the frequency in the right way.